So our first company was Interactive Technologies, and we founded that, myself and Bob Shaw were the co-founders of that business. And we started off building travel technology for the Australasian market, and by chance met up with Andrew Bagnall, and at that time he set a challenge for us to look whether we could actually globalize our technology through his group. And in around 6 weeks, we built the first prototype of that technology and launched that and demonstrated that to him. So our first investment round was with somebody within our trade industry. He invested, it was quite a small amount back then, but was quite big for us as a startup. And the leverage that we then gained from that led us through to being included in the public float of the Gulliver's Travel Group. That was in 2004, and in 2007, when just before the GFC was hitting, we set up Serco. Serco was basically founded by myself and Bob and 26 of the core team that we had with us in the first company. And Serco was set up with some very strong mission, and we wanted to really control dates and time really importantly with what we were trying to do. So the milestones were absolutely key. One of the things that we set about was that we wanted to either look at a trade sale or an exit strategy within 7 years of the business. And we formulated a very controlled plan about how to actually get there. In fact, we listed our business on the same day that we founded our company 7 years later. That's how focused we are on dates. The other thing that we're really focused on is around cash management. And we do these plans out 2 years, and we always imagine a worst case scenario, and we sort of run these models through. And if any time that cash could drop down below a certain level, we go and raise money. Now, it's quite different being on the public market. On the public markets, you can raise money quite quickly as long as the story and the models actually align. In fact, you can complete the task in around 2 to 3 weeks. So today we've raised around 90 million out of the market. So in 2014, we listed on the NZX, raised 22 million. That process took 6 months. It involved around 2 million of cost, and it involved accountants, lawyers, financial advisors, media, and everything through to the whole listing process. Once we'd done that, around 2 years later, we then raised another 8 million to build a new product. We actually completed that process in just over 3 weeks. So we were able to go through a lot tighter process and complete that very, very quickly. We then last year in September raised another 15 million, and were able to execute that again within about a 4-week time frame from start to finish. And then this year we've just completed a $45 million raise. That was a little bit more complex, and with this one we actually had the largest player in the world in our space, being Booking.com, invest in alongside us. Your strategy and your mission has to be very clear and able to be communicated. If you're not communicating that to your investors or your potential shareholders, then no one understands the story for you to be able to buy or for them to buy shares in you. So for us, looking where we are today, and we raised 45 million, we had our model told us that if there was a GFC in the next 2 years, we could burn 35 million of cash. And so we've raised 45 million, plus the money that we already had in the bank, meant that we were well protected and could execute our strategy, which was the most important thing. So you formulating the right board is absolutely key to driving your vision. So if you have a board member that is not aligned as a founder to the overall strategy of your company, it's going to make it really complex to execute. So in our case, we had Simon Bothaway, who had established and chaired the FMA. So he was the highest person in governance. So being an entrepreneur, you're sitting over here, and governance is over to the left. So running really hard over here, wanting to burn cash, and having the model of governance that drives that back was absolutely key from a board perspective. Then we had Claudia Batten, who thinks like us, but was a marketing expert. And we weren't marketing experts, we were tech experts. So having that part of our board gave us that absolute depth as well. So key parts of having this overall board composition attracts the investment. So having Simon Bothaway, who was actually an investor, an analyst himself, has given credibility across New Zealand and Australia in the business and what we've actually been able to achieve. And he attracts natural funds coming into there. So sometimes establishing the right board can actually make raising capital a lot easier.